Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining us on this important topic. Mr. McClellan, if I could, I'd start with you. And this may be a tangent, slight tangent, maybe more accurately. I don't know if any of the witnesses have addressed workforce issues in the written testimonies, but I realize one of NERC standards refers to personnel training requirements. I'm curious whether you believe we have the right people with the right training in place at FERC, at NERC, at the utilities or elsewhere to develop and implement the standards to keep the grid secure and respond to threats and vulnerabilities. Do you think we'd be more secure with additional and better trained cyber warriors?
I would say yes. We do have, the commission is fortunate to have, it's a small staff, but it's a very talented staff that we've mostly drawn from other agencies, and they've spent their entire careers in cybersecurity. I think NERC is also gifted with some of the employees that they have in place, but these folks are as scarce as hen's teeth, and it's difficult to find them. In many cases, we steal them from each other. That said, we have been able to, and I know NERC has also taken advantage of this, we've leveraged the intel agencies with some of the best, undoubtedly the best skill sets in the world. So we leverage those intel agencies to help us understand what the issues are and to address the threats. But certainly more and well-trained cybersecurity people are something that we all need.
Others on the panel care to comment?
Jerry Cawley, NERC. I believe that is an opportunity for us, and I think we do need to expand and grow our workforce in terms of capabilities. It's another example of an opportunity to partner between government and industry. There's a training program at the Pacific Northwest Lab, and we've been running as many industry folks as we can through that. It's a very good week-long program. It's very intense, but we need more of that.
And I would thank you. I would just add that not only just within NERC and FERC, but throughout the federal government. We've issued a report earlier this year too about human capital challenges within the federal government securing federal systems. And indeed, that's an area that's a prime consideration and concern.
Good morning, Senator. One of the issues that we have found anecdotally in talking with our utilities in Ohio is that they've actively recruited from within the military and have had good success with folks who are used to dealing with top secret clearance and higher on issues that involve issues of this nature at the utility, and they have found that to be helpful. That being said, they are also at a premium, and it is very difficult to find sufficient staff, and I would agree with the prior comments about this being an opportunity for specific workforce development that has long-term implications for the country.
Mr. Wilshues, let me turn to you for the next question. You talk about the difficulties in the industry of sharing information on cybersecurity. Could you describe some ways that you think the electricity industry could improve in this area?
Yeah, I think there are a couple areas. One would be certainly is to have a mechanism in place in which the industry can collect actionable or information about security incidents and vulnerabilities that may be in place within the industry, and then being able to share it with other members, but after it's been anonymized. Before you came, we talked about the need to anonymize certain threat information, alert information, so as not to put other companies in peril. And then allow those companies to be more willing to share that information that they may have at any incidents occurring at their organization. And so that will be one key area. Another is to receive information from federal sources and through NERC and FERC, particularly getting additional information through the intelligence community and through Department of Homeland Security on threats that are occurring and vulnerabilities that are happening within those particular industries. Excuse me.
Let me follow that up. In Colorado, we have the Western Cyber Exchange, which is a public-private partnership, and it works on a regional geographic basis, both on improving cybersecurity and then on incident response. Do you think regional cross-sector models like this are something we could encourage and should encourage?
Well, I think they serve their place. You know, regional would help. But many of the threats are international in scope and come from other sources from which regional utilities or groups may not have that information. And that's why it's important that at the federal level, at least, threat information, alert information from the intelligence community through DHS be shared with those particular groups.
Mr. Collier, Mr. Stinchler, would you care to comment on that question as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have the Information Sharing and Analysis Center, and what I think we're trying to create is hubs of information connected to other hubs. So ours is focused on the power system in North America, but we're connected to intelligence agencies, U.S. CERT and the NCIC. So we're plugged into these other sources, and we share information with our members in North America. I think the one other thing that we could do better is to have more access to clearances and to create what I would call fusion centers, perhaps in cooperation with the FBI office, local offices, regional offices, where we can quickly get very detailed information at the classified level to people in industry who can understand at a very granular level what is the threat and what actions should I take. That's an opportunity for us to think about.
Senator, I think I would echo the comments from the GAO where actionable information that has been sufficiently anonymized would be helpful, because the issue that we often hear is the question of, if I provide information, will this later be used against me? If it is, obviously they're reluctant to share that information, and frankly, if we get into a situation where we have a better way to exchange information, we can be implementing best practices and avoiding each individual company having to uncover and discover the same problem and work their own solution, but would then have, in effect, a clearinghouse of known issues, and then they could work to solve that with the flexibility within the standard that may be required.
Thank you all again for appearing and discussing this very important topic. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.